The ban list has dropped, and this is now the best deck of the format, so here's the Infernoble list. Alright, so here's the list. So we run 3 Ogier, 3 Olivier, 3 Renaud and 1 Astolfo, just the standard 10 Infernobles. These are just the best ones. You don't want to run any of the others because they're just kind of crap. I was toying around with 2 Oliver for a while, but I like having the 3rd because it means you can sort of push through in weird hands where you get hand trapped at a sort of unfortunate point. And you need Astolfo for a specific combo, which we'll show later. Alright, so new to the list is 3 Red Layer. I really like this. It pairs great with Connector because it means you can actually nick like the starter cards out of the hand rather than just sort of hand traps, which they would have used anyway. So like Oviraptors and stuff like that, Stratoses if heroes become relevant. And yeah, it's just a free summon. It adds itself back from the grave as well if you have a second, so it's great. Same principle with Fireflint Lady, just another free summon. You want to have as many sort of free summons as possible. That's like the whole theory with the Ignites, because it means that you can commit to the Isolde without using your normal summon. So if you get hand trapped on a Beard or something, it means you can just make a second Isolde and carry on. Like, that's the biggest strength of this deck, is just playing through hand traps. We then run 3 Gearfried. I think this is kind of cloggy at 3 in a 40 card list, but in a 60 card list it's fine. And you kind of want to see it in your opening hand every time because it means you're not getting hand trapped. And then the last sort of warrior starter cards are 3 Connector and 1 Aqua Dolphin. I was playing Sub Knight for the longest time because it is searchable, but then when the Numeron stuff come out, Ghost Ogre got really popular again, and Ghost Ogre just kills the Sub Knight. Whereas with this, you're actually getting like so much value off the Dolphin, because if they don't hand trap it, you loop in like two or three cards, and it means like they're not really going to be able to play, let alone cracky boards. So yeah, I really like this. And then on to the next part, the sort of spicy part, it's the Ignites. So we run a pretty heavy lineup of 2 of each level 3, 2 of each level 4, and then just 1 of the level 5. So that's 15 Ignites. I like seeing 2 in my opening hand, every opening hand, and this is sort of the best ratio to do that. Plus we also run a card that searches them, so in theory we run 18. The Pendulum Summon's really underrated as well. Like, I don't play it, but there is a version where you can play Appaloosa, and you can. It just means you end on like so much, but it's kind of greedy. But I do like these. And so the last monster we play is just 1 Plague Spreader Zombie. This takes the place of Jetsyncron and Olion, and I kind of prefer it because it means like your boards end up being stronger because you make Tatsunoko now. So if you're getting a Beard on the Tatsunoko, you can still end on pretty decent boards, if not just the Charles, which will get you there anyway. So yeah, and it's never a problem having the card in your hand because you have Phoenix Blade and stuff to add back, so it's fine. It's essentially free. And so on to the spells, we run 3 Heritage of the Chalice, just your standard Searcher, 3 Durendal, same, just in an Equip, and then we also run 1 Smoke Grenade and 1 Phoenix Blade, which are like the 5th and 4th Equip spells you run, and then 1 Artheodoiter and 1 Living Fossil. A lot of builds tend to play 6 or 7 equips, but I like the 8 simply because if you open 2, you can't get your level 4 off with Isolde. Whereas with this, you're alright. And these are just the best ones. Like, Artheodoiter comes up so much against like certain back row things where you can just summon a red layer or something, equip it, pop something, and then go off. And Living Fossil's just a free summon, so yeah. We then run 3 Painful Decision. This is new as well. This is to search the Ignite, so if you don't know what it does, it sends a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck to the grave, and you add 1 from your deck with the same name. So you send Paladin or Templar or any of the level 3s. And it's just extra deck thinning, and it's an extra Ignite, and I really like it. Plus as well, it's sort of good ash bait. Like, if people ash it, then it's just free stonks. We run Rotor and 1 Monster Reborn, just standard. 3 Desires because it's a 60 card list, and 3 Talents because I really like Talents ever since I got them. I think it's amazing. Like, and the whole thing about this deck is playing through hand traps, and this just goes so well with Talents. So yeah, that's the 60 card list. So here's the extra deck. It's kind of like, it hasn't really changed, just 1 or 2 cards, but they're sort of notable changes. So you run 2 as old still. I think 2 is the optimum number. I'd never run 1 and 3 just won't come up. And then you run 1 Linkross, 1 Hulk and 1 Auroradon, fairly standard. And then you run 1 Access Code and 1 Boral Sword. I like having the choice of how like I want to kill my opponent, as silly as that sounds, because Access Code makes sense if they have like lots of walls like in defence, and Boral Sword is just better if they've got like a big guy. And you find as well with the Access Code, you'll have like 3 or 4 pops just because of all the different attributes, like Auroradon's a wind, Hulk's a water, and then you've got your lights and that, so it does come up where you'd want the other one and the one, so I just play both. So the newest edition is 1 Tatsunoko. Some Infernoble lists have been playing this before, and I think now is the only time I felt compelled to play it because we don't have Jetsyncron, whereas before you'd make Herald. You kind of have to make this now if your hand's not actually bonkers. Like, you can still make Herald, I still play it, but Tatsunoko, you search your level 3 Ignite off a Soul, and it lets you make Coral Dragon that way instead of doing it the old way. The Metal Marcher, he's now integral in all combos because he gets back Plague Spreader, and that's how you make your Roland and then your Charles and so on and so on. One Herald, this doesn't come up as much as it used to, which saddens me because I really like this card, but in some hands you can still make it, so I do still play it. For your level 5s, you run one Launzelin and one Roland. Roland comes up most of the time, and Launzelin comes up for that one specific combo where you can make Gearfried as your 4th summon, so you're protected against hand traps. But yeah, other than that, it doesn't really come up. The one Coral Dragon, the one Savage, this comes up a lot more now because you don't make Herald, and then the one Charles, which is your boss monster, and the guy you want to summon like as your priority. Alright, so we're going to take you through a fairly standard combo. This combo can literally just be any 2 warriors, but when it's Ogier and Renaud, or pretty much anything in Renaud, it means you can make Gearfried as your 4th summon, so it's a lot stronger. And it does happen quite a lot with the Ignites and all your searches. So you're going to start off by normal summoning your Ogier and using his effect, and you're going to mill your Gearfried. Then next you're going to special summon your Renaud and add back the Gearfried. And then now you're going to synchro summon these into your Launzelin, and Launzelin effect is going to let you equip a Noble Arms straight from the deck. So you're going to equip your Durendal. You're then going to fire off your Durendal so it destroys itself and it lets you search. So in this instance you're going to search for your Astolfo. So then you're going to use your Gearfried's effect, banishing your Durendal and summoning him, and then straight away equip your Ogier to your Gearfried. So this is your 4th summon now, and you've got protection against monster effects, so you're not getting a Beereed or Astra or anything like that. And then you banish your last one, which is Renaud, to summon Astolfo, and now you have your 2 warriors needed to go into your Assault. Now when you play your Assault, usually before you just search any Ignite, but now it's kind of imperative that you have to search the level 3 Ignite. It can be Crusader or Squire, but this is simply because you need it to synchro summon with later. So then you're going to fire off your Assault effect, so you're going to dump your 5 equips. These are just the best ones, these 2 are the best ones, and then these 2 are the sort of bricks, so you just get them out of the deck. And that's going to let you summon your Oliver, and then from here you're going to turn your Assault into a Link Cross and use the Link Cross effect, which lets you get 2 tokens. And then straight away you're going to use your Link Cross and your Oliver to make your Hulk Fibrax, and that's going to get out your Plague Spreader Zombie. So now, since these are level 1s, you can turn Plague Spreader Zombie and a token into your Martial Metal Marcher, which is going to revive your Plague Spreader. You're then going to turn your Plague Spreader and the last token, the Link Cross token, into your Tatsunoko. And now you turn Hulk and Metal Marcher into Auroradon. And you're using Auroradon now purely to generate the tokens. You can't get online, and there aren't really any other good Mecha Phantom Beast targets you want, so you just get your 3 tokens. And now you turn the Tatsunoko and the Crusader in your hand. So this will go to grave with the Tatsunoko into a Coral Dragon. And then Coral Dragon and one of your tokens into your Charles. And now your Coral Dragon is going to let you draw a card. So you've got 1 in hand. And then from here you're going to need to revive your Plague Spreader Zombie, and you can either just put back the card you drew with Coral Dragon, or you can use your Phoenix Blade. So just for this we'll banish 2 warriors, get back the Phoenix Blade, and then put the Phoenix Blade back into the deck to summon the Plague Spreader Zombie. So now what you're going to do is turn your Plague Spreader and one of the tokens into your Roland. Plague Spreader gets banished. You activate the Roland effect, which will resolve in the end phase, and then straight away just synchro summon it into a Savage Dragon, and then Savage is going to let you equip your Assault. So then before you go to end phase, you can equip your Oliver to whichever one you want. Usually I'd equip it to the Gearfried, simply because it now means that you have an untargetable and undestroyable Gearfried, and Charles is going to get whichever one you want out of the deck anyway. So then in the end phase you're going to resolve your Roland, which lets you search whatever, typically a Gearfried, so you have like a play next turn in case your board gets broken and you've got something big that can beat over their stuff. And then Charles is going to trigger, letting you get whichever Infernoble suits the matchup best, and the Smoke Grenade, and then Charles will trigger popping the Smoke Grenade, and then you get to look at their hand and take a card. So that's a pretty cool 2-card combo where you end on a Monster Negate, an Omni Negate, and then you've got a card out of the hand with Charles, and you also have a pop in their turn because of Charles' effect with Roland. Plus you know everything they're going to do, everything they're going to play, so yeah, it's a really strong combo. And once again that's off Ogier and Renaud, but it can also just be any 2 warriors. You just won't get the Gearfried, or You will have the gear feed if you drew any of the ignites or any of your other searches. So yeah, pretty good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As you can see, this deck's still pretty wild. I think it's the best deck of the format simply because of the smoke grenade. Like, the fact that didn't get touched puts it above every other deck. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe, and leave some suggestions or questions in the comments, and I'll endeavour to answer them all. Thanks for watching.